like, what it was to be in the boots of a teacher. But up here we're saying, it's the evaluation systems. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. But I'm like, so you get people making decisions in a vacuum without really even knowing how those decisions are going to either positively or negatively impact. And I think that a lot of the decisions that we've been making as politicians in the last decade have been detrimental. Instead of helping our communities be lifted, I think it's made the teaching career less sexy. Nobody wants to do it. There's too many demands, no pay. So I just think that instead of improving, I think we've done a great disservice to our kids in terms of building capacity and making people excited about being in education. And I hopefully with Hillary, we can change the tide of No Child Left Behind. I think really that's where it all stems from, when we started to say all kids need to achieve at the same time, and here's the benchmark, and all kids need to be here by X year. And that started with the negative pressure about, okay, you're not hitting it, and so the stick came out. Instead of saying, what do we need to do to help you, administrator, help your teachers, elevate the quality and the caliber of teaching that's going on in your campuses? But what did we do? We penalized people and we put them in timeouts. And so instead of providing the support and the help and the training, I think we attacked the problem in the wrong way, and we're kind of seeing it now all out of control, spiraling downward. So hopefully, my hope is that we've reached bottom, and from here it's all building on up, but making really smart decisions about how do we move forward and how do we now set a solid foundation that will last and that we can continue to build on over time.
We hope that if Hillary is elected, that we'll have a better partnership with the federal government than we've experienced under the Obama administration. It really has been a non-conversation, especially on education. And we're certainly believers, those of us that work in the system, is you have to work all levels at the same time so that you can nudge it and the biggest stick belongs to the federal government. So if there is no communication and collaboration between us who are doing our level best to give kids a chance, and the guy that has the biggest stick, we're not going to get there. So I hope Hillary sees that as a place to really improve.
Lead the charge.
I've been very encouraged by her approach and her comments. I know that she's had a chance to speak out here as well on some of these issues, and so I think that you're going to find a very strong partner.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yes, I have a question for Assemblywoman Diaz. What is your opinion on how NSHE is handling their funds? Because I have a feeling that a lot of the money, instead of going into the school...
Handling the what? No, I did not talk to him, I swear.
So this is our system of higher education. Go ahead, finish it.
So I feel that they're just getting tuition hikes, but without seeing any actual things being implemented in the schools. I feel like it's being siphoned off somewhere else. Is that necessarily true?
I have to do more digging in that area. To be quite honest, I feel that for the longest time we've focused a lot, we've given a lot of time and effort and scrutiny in our K through 12 system, but we've neglected to give that same scrutiny and level of detail or attention to our higher ed system. And what we're seeing and what we're realizing is, I know that my community college kids that are first year, probably first generation college goers, are not making the transition into higher ed. And for me, that's very frustrating, because that's the first opportunity they get to transition upward and onward to a better career path. And just, again, if we want access to the middle class, we know that access, that key is education. And so we know that we've lacked that focus and that drive, and there probably are some things that we need to check out and we need to make sure. And I think there needs to be some accountability measures for our system of higher ed, just like we have them for our K through 12. Because we want to make sure our kids are graduated through 20, not just through 12. Those that, and of course I'm a big advocate for career in tech. So not all kids need to be college bound. I, as a teacher, know every child comes with their own strengths and talents, and you need to make sure that you channel those strengths and talents where it makes sense for the individual. So without, because I know my union brothers and sisters here do a phenomenal job here with the trades and making sure we also have a career path for our kids in very awesome paying jobs. Like when I went to sheet metals, I was like, where can I sign up for a job? I mean, I don't make those big bucks that some sheet metal workers do, you know, and the benefits are just amazing, so.
No, you know, I've been impressed that Secretary Clinton has addressed this issue of the number of jobs that go unfilled because we don't have young people that have the technical skills a lot of times to fill them. And there's a role for all of this, of course, for our young people who want to go to a 4-year university and graduate, or 2-year community college. Oftentimes it's folks that need technical training so that they can get gainful employment. You know, I believe that Secretary Clinton would build on the work of the Obama administration in terms of apprenticeships, free community college that's been proposed, universal pre-K, so that you set a whole system in place that supports the goal of somebody in this 21st century economy having the knowledge, having the skills that they need to get a good job and be able to provide for their family and reach the middle class and live out their dream.
Castro, if I'm not mistaken, did you launch the initiative for pre-K for everyone in San Antonio?
Yeah, so when I was mayor, we launched something called Pre-K for SS, which was an initiative to, it's not universal, but it's significantly expanded pre-K for 4-year-olds in our city. And we took that ballot, we took that initiative to the voters, and they approved it. And so San Antonio has a higher percentage of its 4-year-olds that go through a pre-K than any other.
How did you accomplish that? Was that like legislatively, or was that citywide, or was that, how did you get that implemented?
Fortunately, we had legislation that was available from 1999 when the Democrats still controlled the legislature, and it let us run a ballot initiative that basically raised the sales tax by 1/8 of a cent. So for the median family, that was $7.81 more a year. And I told folks, you know, basically I'm asking you for $7.81 here, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to invest in the young people of our community who need a good education. And we see so many young people today that come into our classrooms, and they're already behind. And you can see the trajectory they're going to be on if something doesn't change. And so what we were saying is, for folks in our community, we're not going to let them get behind. We're going to make sure that they have the resources they need in terms of education to get on a good track. And we got that done. And actually, just a couple of weeks ago, I read one of the evaluations on the initiative with the children, and I'm glad to say that it's living up to what we hoped that it would, that they're better prepared than their peers who are not going through that pre-K.
Michelle, how are we on time?